Hey everyone, my name is Wedge, and yes, I finally finished it. Slimefoot Commander is done. He's slimy, he's beautiful, he's my favorite fungus, and he's ready to stomp on everyone. This version of the deck is my favorite take on Slimefoot, and the best part is that it isn't even that expensive. In this video, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about the most bomb Slimefoot deck out there. We'll talk strategy, I'll show you how dang cheap it is, around $180, and that includes really good cards, by the way, and then I'll throw some upgrades right at your faces. Alright, let's do this thing. I do hope you enjoyed the video, and if you do, remember, hit that like button, it helps out a lot. Slimefoot the Stowaway is one of anything, 1 black and 1 green for a 2/3 legendary creature fungus. Whenever a sapling you control dies, Slimefoot deals 1 damage to each opponent, and you gain 1 life. You can also pay 4 mana and create a 1/1 green sapling creature token. Slimefoot is a total boss. 3 mana for a 2/3 is irrelevant because attacking really isn't what this guy does. The goal here is to mass saplings, throw them at enemies, sacrifice them to do ridiculous things, and use Slimefoot's broken as heck trigger to kill legit everyone at the table. A 3 mana uncommon with this much power really is outrageous, but here we are. You're going to see so many ways to kill our opponents, it's magical, but the best one, Slimefooting for days. We're going to begin with cards that synergize directly with Slimefoot himself, and this is where my list already differentiates with a lot of others. Notice the wording of the first ability. Whenever a sapling you control dies, Slimefoot deals 1 damage to each opponent. He deals the damage, no life loss, damage. This is why we're running Nekete, Grafted Exoskeleton, Keen Sense, and Snake Umbra. Notice something about these cards, none of them say combat damage, they all say damage, which means that every single time Slimefoot triggers and each of your opponents take 1 damage, each of these cards trigger, so each of your opponents will lose 1 life from Nekete when your trigger happens, each of your opponents will get poison counters due to Grafted Exoskeleton, again, damage totally broken, Keen Sense will draw you a metric buttload of cards, it says to an opponent, that adds up quick, and Snake Umbra, same thing, tons of cards, best part, all of this happens from a single sapling dying, just 1. Imagine if you had 5 or 10 or 100. Yeah, this is what we're doing here. We're going to Slimefoot the crap out of everyone. I hope you're ready for all this nonsense. We need to create saplings if we're going to destroy them naturally. It's the cycle of all things, so we begin there. First, we love spores. Thanks to the fungi, we're ripe with spores. Death Spore Thallid, Psychotrope Thallid, Thallid Germinator, and Spore Sower Thallid. These are the best of the best. They accumulate spore counters over time and then remove them for an effect we quite enjoy, more saplings. What makes some of these particularly devastating is that they come with additional abilities that let us sacrifice our saplings for powerful effects, triggering our Slimefoot as many times as we want. You can wipe your opponent's board with the Death Spore Thallid and enough saplings, Psychotrope draws you cards for days, and the Germinator makes combat fun for you and unfun for your opponent. In addition to these spore factories, we're running Sporoloth Ancient, a spore factory in and of itself, but also a fungus that discounts all of our other fungi, letting them create saplings for 2 spore counters instead of 3. You're just saving turns at that point. And finally, the Lawn of Havenwood enters the fray as a fungi lord that turns our dead fungus into value, boosting the spore counters on whatever we have on the battlefield. Just a nice card since fungi are an accidental sub-theme in the deck. The Lawn carries his weight for only 2 mana, brings additional value to our Thallids, and gives them power after death. It's good stuff, love is in the air. That might be rotting mushrooms, actually, but it could be love. They smell essentially the same, so I've heard. Of course, that isn't nearly enough sapling production. You thought that was it? Come on. Jade Mage is an easy sapling creator, makes saps for a mana cheaper than Slime Daddy himself, and Namada Grove Guardian has been waiting for this moment its entire life. Another 3 mana producer, but what makes Namada powerful is that second ability. Sacrificing 1 token anthems the rest? Think about it. Anthems all of them and your Slimefoot triggers. This is a continuous free sapling sacrifice engine that also makes your saplings huge. Namada is a dang MVP up in here. Still not even close to done, we have loads of triggered abilities. This will make it easy to pump up our sapling count without needing to invest too many resources over the course of the game. Thedlanite Hermit is a total beast, boosting all of our saplings and creating 4 when you unmorph it all-star. You can guess what Michaeloth is here to do, eat up a bunch of saps, then poo them back out at the beginning of your upkeep. You get 2+1/+1 counters per devour, so goodbye saplings, hello Saplings, I could have thought of something more clever than that. Anywho, Sporebound gives us a sapling whenever we play a land, and in green decks that tends to happen. Tendershoot Dryad is a relatively new card. Ascend, you might as well just give us the second the game starts. 5 mana for a 2/2 that creates a sapling at the beginning of each upkeep, yes please. And if you ascend, your saplings become 3/3s. Okay pal, totally fair. Tendershoot Dryad is stupid pants. Verdaloth the Ancient has a lot going on, and finally there's somewhere he really shines. Boosts all of your saplings, and if you kick him, he brings a bunch of pals along. Hopefully we find a way to generate a bunch of mana, hint hint. And then we have Verdant Forest, the giant, bumbling sapling mess. The fact that this elemental creates saplings on each upkeep, yeah, you deserve a spot here, friend. The more saplings, the better. Next to these sapling producing creatures, we have a couple of my favorite green spells of all time. The first is Sapling Symbiosis. If you pay to make it instant speed, insane. If you don't, still insane. You basically get to double up your saplings, no big deal, just double them up, easy peasy. More than double if you have some non-token creatures out there, it's very nice. Now, Sprout Swarm is what we need to talk about here. Probably the first card put into this deck. It might not seem like much, but when you can cast it over and over and over again every single turn until the game is over, yeah, turns out to be pretty dang good. Convoke is real dumb in this deck, and you can bet you'll never have to pay a single real mana for that buyback cost. Just 1/1 saplings as soon as you see this in your hand. This is what you play all the time when you have a single open green mana, 1 sapling over and over, instant speed, card is crazy, play it. We need more sapling production, and this is honestly the biggest part of the cost for this deck, but we just can't avoid some of them. Now, Second Harvest is an easy include. It's very similar to Sapling Symbiosis, but Parallel Lives and Primal Vigor, true powerhouses here. Parallel Lives is dedicated to giving you more tokens than you could ever possibly need. By doubling up your already massive token generators, you will have so many saplings that Slimefoot won't be able to trigger fast enough to nuke the entire table. Remember, a single sapling is 1 damage to each opponent, just 1, and you're going to create so many even without this. Then you add in Primal Vigor, and boom, your chances to double up your tokens has doubled. And in addition, those counters you're placing on Michaeloth, yeah, looking real swole right now, friendo. What a deck this is. As you can see, we have plenty of ways to create saplings, get them to multiply, the whole 9 yards, which means the next step in our Slimefoot madness is to sacrifice them. But that isn't always going to work by simply smacking players in the face. We need engines. We need to be able to cycle through our saplings on our terms, whenever we want to, and of course get crazy awesome benefits out of the deal. Welcome to the Aristocrats section of the deck list. Viscera Seer gives us a lot of scribe potential, allowing significant sifting through our deck for what we need. Thallid Soothsayer costs a bit each time, but you are drawing a card, so I can't say no, plus it's a fungus, so you can get that added tribal synergy, and the creature doesn't have to be a sapling, so even more flexibility, not bad. Plague Maw Beast just needs to tap to sacrifice a creature, and it proliferates, which means you can hit the poison counters on your opponents from the grafted Slimefoot. You can also proliferate the spore counters on your fungi, that's synergy right there, solid beast. Vampiric Rites is even more card draw, but this time we also gain life, which is good. Pretty simple card, but another sack outlet. After those, we get to a few of my favorite sack engines. Fungal Plots, delicious. Sacrifice 2 saplings to draw a card and gain 2 life, count me in. No mana cost, I'm there. Just repeat this process however long you want. That life gain isn't irrelevant. And worst case scenario, if you need to, there's a sapling producing ability right there. Fungal Plots, so good. Then of course we have Ashnod's Altar, obviously. I mean, sacrificing 1 sapling is 2 mana. That makes Jade Mage better. It also turns Slimefoot into a real dangerous customer if you have a Parallel Lives or Primal Vigor out. Spend 4 mana, get 2 saplings, sacrifice them both, get 4 mana, get 2 saplings, sacrifice them both, get 4 mana, get 2 saplings, so on and so forth, you get it. Triggering Slimefoot each and every time, boom, dead. Not even that difficult. Ashnod's Altar, broken beyond comprehension. In this deck, indescribably good. Altar of Dementia is another great time. Think about all the saplings you have, then think about how big they're going to get from your various lords, anthem effects, and abilities. You can straight mill someone out, no issue. If not, still a free sacrifice outlet that hits the non-reanimator player, and Grim Backwoods is a dirtily land, but it will draw you a card and sacrifice you a creature in a pinch. Backup plans are always good to have. Grim Backwoods could be a worse one. We spoke about Michaeloth and Primal Vigor before. Bloodspore Thrynax is a dirty, dirty lizard. Great sacrifice vacuum, pumps up every other creature that enters the battlefield forever, making them all instant threats, synergizes with the altar, and most of your other creatures. Another slam dunk play, and you get Slimefoot triggers the whole way. Then we have Mazarek, good old Mazzy. I think it's pretty clear what he's here for, make everything gigantic with no real effort. Whoop-de-doo, you're sacrificing creatures so difficult, let's make all of the remaining creatures huge, easy include. And Westvale Abbey provides a nice one-time 5 sacrifice dump if Slimefoot is out. Look at it this way. You Lava Axe everyone, gain 5 life, then get a 9/7 flying lifelink, indestructible hasty demon. Can't see a downside there, really can't. Great card. Moving on to more direct ways to kill your opponents, our sacrifice shenanigans are clearly laid out. It's what we're going to be doing above all else, and while Slimefoot is hilarious on his own and will probably kill a ton of players, why not give him some help? Blood Artist and Zulaport Cutthroat are here to end dreams. Games end quickly when either is around for too long, and stacked up with your Slimy, they'll end even faster. Fecundity draws cards on every single sacrifice you make, that's dumb. Dictative Erebos effectively kills a creature on every side of the board whenever a single sapling dies, also pretty dumb. And Skull Clamp, good old Skull Clamp, somehow not banned in this format. 1 mana to get a sacrifice trigger and draw 2 cards. This is beauty incarnate. Just look at these spells. Have you ever seen anything so dang gorgeous in your entire life? It's unreal. We have a bunch of creatures, lots of them, so many tokens, probably too many to just sacrifice over and over again. So in case we want to take a different direction, we can do that. This ain't your grandma's sacrifice deck. Let's talk beatdown. We're running Eldrazi Monument. Gives us a free sacrifice trigger on each of our upkeeps, and all of our saplings are indestructible and somehow fly. Game winner. Beastmaster Ascension will get 7 counters by turn -6. Then our saplings are 6/6s, and our friends leave to go do something else. Cryptolith Rite means we can play every single spell in our deck at any time ever, so that's nice, no big deal. But Triumph of the Hordes is a one-shot kill against the entire table. Try to tell me Trample and Infect on an army of saplings isn't going to do it. Yeah, no, it will. Creekwood Leech anthems all of everything, and you get a worm for sacrificing on your upkeep. Null-Made Shepherd taps creatures to destroy artifacts and enchantments. In other words, neither of those will exist in the games you're in. Spore Crown Thallid reminds everyone that you're a combat threat as your army of bear saplings ride into the night. Thunderfoot Baloth gives Overrun to your team permanently, figure that one out, totally fair. Orin Reef blankets the board with a +1/+1 counter constantly, and Paradox Engine, this stupid card, it lets you untap all non-lands and do it all over again. Null-Made Shepherd looking at you, friend, just wipe those artifacts. Got some more counter and proliferate help in the forms of Winding Constrictor and Contagion Clasp. This is especially powerful for our +1/+1 Devour creatures, all of our Thallid Spore counters, just all of it. It's a nice pair of support cards. Then we have some super awesome tech. First, Illusionist Bracers. Sticking that on Slimefoot means that you're paying 4 mana for 2 saplings, and that's just solid value on an activated ability. Double the saplings, double the fun. This, of course, also applies to every other creature we have that has a non-mana activated ability. Yeah, all of them. Welcome to my heaven. After that, we're running Life and Limb. The reason we're running this, remember Spore Mound? Well, Life and Limb makes all forests and saplings and forests, which means that whenever you play a land, you create a 1/1 sapling, which is also a land, which triggers Spore Mound to create a 1/1 sapling, which is also a land, which triggers Spore Mound again. Enjoy the soundless combo. To make sure it doesn't actually go infinite, just break the loop once in a while with a few sacrifices on the stack and you'll be fine. As good as it gets in here, people. This is as good as it gets. For a little self-sacrifice, Sakura Tribe Elder and Yavimaya Elder both make appearances, both quite good on their own for ramp purposes, and will die whenever you need them to. Golgari Charm saves all your saplings from death, makes it a worthy inclusion solely for that. Lightning Greaves and Swiftfoot Boots, staples, will protect Slimefoot, no idea how he gets either of them on, but hey, I won't question it. Broken Bond is a new artifact removal spell that will fit nicely into most any green deck, getting that land drop is savagely good. We have some more staples in removal spells, Abrupt Decay and Hero's Downfall, then a bunch of affordable rampant fixing, Cultivate, Rampant Growth, Golgari Cluestone, Golgari Signet, and of course Soul Ring. Moving on to the lands, there's a wide variety here. Blighted Fen and Bajuka Bog are removal and disruption respectively. Mortuary Mire can grab you one of your important creatures that has died. We got more fixing in Blighted Woodland, Evolving Wilds, and Terramorphic Expanse. And then a slew of duels that will make your mana amazing every single game. Command Tower, Foul Orchard, Golgari Guildgate, Golgari Rotform, Jungle Hollow, Llanowar Ways, and the Path of Ancestry. Add in a Temple of the False God, 11 Forests, and 8 Swamps, and boom, that's it. That's your bomb Slimefoot deck for well under $200. I know $200 seems like a lot, but this deck is both funny as heck and quite good. Now, if you've fallen in love with Slimefoot like I have, I do have some quality of life upgrades for you. You obviously want Doubling Season if you can afford it. The more effects like that you have, the better. Maelstrom Pulse is a great removal spell, can't go wrong including it. Grave Pact is a more expensive Dictative Erebos. If you can play both, play both. An Elvish Farmer is becoming difficult to get, but you really should if you can. Great zero-cost sapling sacrifice ability, and as far as lands are concerned, you could use Overgrown Tomb, Temple and Malady, Woodland Cemetery, and Reliquary Tower. But I promise you this mana spread is just fine without them, as is the entire deck for that matter. You don't need any of these cards for the deck to be sick, just so you're aware. And that's going to do it for this incredibly long Slimefoot deck tech. I really hope you enjoyed this. It took a long time to build and get right, but I'm really proud of it. If you like the list and want to check it out, first link in the description. Again, deck is pretty cheap for a commander and pretty cheap for how good it is. This was a long video. If you've seen up to this point, leave a little heart in the comments so I know you're the coolest ones of the bunch. And as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.